Hey, welcome back. This is Cetriya, Cetriya, and today is day 36 of 100 days of making comics. Obviously, more than 36 days have passed, but I am catching up to it. Also, I have about 2 weeks left to getting this comic done, so I pretty much dive right into inking. So today I think I'll chat a little bit about kind of what happens when you don't do something for a long time and having to sort of relearn it, and also discovering different ways of doing things. So I have to say that I'm definitely getting to the point where I'm kind of relaxing into working on the inks. I always find the inking part probably the most relaxing part or therapeutic part, even though I'm still figuring things out and such things. And I definitely have to say that Mangastudio pretty much I'm still not used to it. I don't use it on an everyday basis, and if I'm not inking comics, I pretty much don't use it at all. At work, I use Photoshop, and to be honest, if I had a Cintiq at home, which I don't, I definitely probably would have just stuck to Photoshop. Photoshop has some really cool brushes lately, even though it doesn't have a stabilizer. And if you don't know what a stabilizer, it's a way in which when you ink or when you make a stroke on the computer, it auto smooths it out so you don't have like all those jitters. But I tend to make really quick and swooping gestures anyways, and so I'm pretty much used to that. And if you have a Cintiq, it adds more to it. And plus my inking tends to be a little bit more organic, and sometimes I feel like I have to sit and modify the stabilization a lot, so that way my strokes come out a bit more, organic, and a bit more me, a bit more Cetriya, versus super smooth out. I definitely know that as I was inking this, that I probably am going to do some master studies. And if you don't know what a master study is basically you take an artwork that you like from someone that's, almost a master, or at least far advanced than you, and then you do a complete copy. And when you do the copy, it's not just you copy the drawings, but you need to make it look like you photocopied the thing. It needs to have the exact same strokes and textures and everything. And part of that is that it's kind of forcing you to super analyze everything about the illustration and the technique, and that hopefully you bring some of that with you when you go back to do your own work. So there's a couple of manga artists and a few comic book artists that I'll probably do some master studies for their ink work, so that way I could get some different techniques for inking. For right now, I'm already feel like I'm mentally hitting like a wall or a plateau where I know that there was a time that I kind of was a little past it, but I haven't done comics for so long, and right now I really feel it because the last comic I finished was probably about a year and a half ago, and before then it was a couple of years. It was more than 2 years, maybe 3-4 years prior to that. And I'm at that point where I recall most of everything up to that point, and I want to actually improve my skills. So master studies are one of the ways that I feel that to improve my skills. I'll probably start making a sort of like I already kind of have a reference file folder, but really start to have like a reference folder specific to different kind of black and white comic techniques and manga techniques, not just in inking, but also things like special effects, fighting. I'll probably go in and look at some cartoons and some anime and do some screenshots of how they render out the different kind of like techniques. Also probably sound effects. That'll just be, as time progresses, I'll start to add more and more of that in. So, but I have to say, as I was working on the inks for these first couple of pages, it's getting a bit familiar with me. The other thing is, as I said, I'm not used to Mangastudio, so you can see me here testing out different ways of doing things. Like I really have only used Mangastudio for inking. I don't even use it for, let's say, penciling or whatnot. I prefer to just pencil by hand or just pencil on Photoshop because I'm so used to the shortcut keys to manipulating, modifying, transforming shapes and stuff like that, and the way that Photoshop does it, that it's much easier for me to work on, even though I can't mirror or flip the canvas. But even then, with Photoshop, to an extent, you can flip the canvas. So you can see me here getting used to working on the rulers that Mangastudio have. So I'm hoping to get more and more into the tools, and probably maybe after I do my first 100 or so pages, I'll get more and more familiar with the program, and maybe I could start making some videos about the methods in which I use Mangastudio, because I can definitely see how powerful this program is. I know there's like a contender program out there called Meaty Bang, but I just don't feel like learning yet again another program. I'm okay with Mangastudio. It's a relatively larger program, and hopefully I end up mastering that program. So for you guys, like if you don't have, say, Photoshop or Mangastudio, I know Meaty Bang is free. Mangastudio, depending if they're running sales, they're like $20, but if it's not, it's $100. And then the pro version is $200. And I tend to keep to the simplified one for $20. But now that I am more advanced and doing a number of things, I find that I wish I had bought the pro version when it was on sale for $80, just to have the feature of being able to export your stuff into PDF, because before I had the Adobe subscription, I had to figure out how to export things into PDF, and it seems like a lot of programs don't properly lay out pages and export them into the PDF that companies like Amazon or other printers would actually accept. So yeah, that went a little bit more technical. I'm definitely jotting down a long list of things that I should probably get back to focusing on, but yeah. So there's a part of this video about an hour in right now. At this point, I'm probably like an hour and 20 minutes in. Probably for the first half hour, I wasn't really doing anything, and I actually cut that out before I edited this video. And I had found out that my program kind of stopped recording and stopped live streaming. By the way, I would like to live stream on YouTube, but due to the music copyright thing, I'm not gonna put my account end up getting in trouble with my account. So instead, I'm live streaming on Twitch, and I just like to listen to different kind of background music besides non-copyright background music. And most of those that I listen to is YouTube streaming accounts, so I don't even know how they deal with that stuff. I know it's indie stuff, but that's why I'm streaming on Twitch. So if you guys would like to follow my live stream and maybe chat, so far I've only had 1 or 2 people come in, and that's fine with me because I do need to work on this. I'm at the grind point now, but just head on over to Twitch and just search for Cetriya again. It's really helpful to have a unique name that's not too long to pronounce or to spell, because no one has claimed it, and it's very unique. So pretty much you search Cetriya and you'll find me wherever, but Twitch is where I'm live streaming now. And I usually live stream on the weekdays around, I would say 8 o'clock. 8 p.m. is when I stream. Maybe I might start at 7:30, but for the most part it's 8 p.m. except for Thursdays and Mondays, because I am out and about doing errands or meeting up with other people. But yeah, so now I am up to page 6-ish of the comic, and I need to, that makes me roughly 10 more pages left for chapter 1. Chapter 2 is unusually long and abnormal, but I think I'm going to go back and start planning out my chapters to be more 16 pages. And I think officially I've decided that I will be posting 1 chapter a month and just do a bulk post. I don't have time to make individual posts and schedule the dates out and such things like that. So I know for a fact that just once a month I'm going to attempt to post 16 pages starting off second week of September. Yeah. So every second week of a month I will update roughly 16 pages. So that means I'll probably update half of chapter 2. Yeah, so anyhow, today was day 36. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Sorry for the continuous rambling, but feel free to post comments and questions, and I'll get to them in the next video. And again, follow me for streaming on Twitch at Cetriya, and thanks for watching.